Hey everyone, this is Travis Rusko here with Teen Quest. You can check us out online at teenquest.org, and we're also on Facebook and Twitter. I'm here with our special guest today, Josh Miller. He's the youth pastor at Tri-Village Christian Church in Pataskala, Ohio. Did I pronounce that right, Josh?
Pataskala, but that was close.
Okay, well, close. Pataskala, Ohio, over near Columbus. Is that correct?
Yes, right, right.
Okay, great. So, Josh, how long have you been out there at that church now?
I'm starting my fourth year, so it's been 3 years here.
Okay, great. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself, about your youth group, and how you personally, are approaching youth ministry there at your church.
We try to disciple our students first, then hopefully they will, in turn, bring friends, bring other students that they know to the church, and then also begin discipling them as well. So we kind of work, inside out, and try to do some outreach events to allow students the opportunity to bring their friends and bring other students into what we're doing here at Tri Village.
Okay, great, awesome. Now, I wanted to ask you for a minute or two about parents, how you and your youth ministry try to work with these parents and kind of integrate them into what you have going on out there.
We a lot of our volunteers are actually parents of students, which sometimes is a great thing to have them around. Other times, not so great, especially when you ask students. But uh, we try to involve parents as much in some of the bigger events that we do. It gives them a chance to see what's going on here. Gives them a chance to meet other students as well and get to know some of them. Another thing we do is we send out emails from time to time to parents, kind of just letting them know what we're teaching about or what topics we're discussing during the time, and also give them some questions that they could ask, when they're out to eat or on the dinner table or in conversation with students, so they kind of know what their students at least are learning while they're here, youth group or some of the other events that we do. So.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, I wanted to ask also for you personally, and this could be related to dealing with parents or just youth ministry in general. But what would you say is, kind of like the biggest lesson you found yourself learning here recently in regards to youth ministry?
Um, as far as with parents, a lot of things that we have trouble with, and this is probably for most youth ministries or student ministries, is commitment levels,
Okay.
from students, and a lot of times we see that um, being modeled by the parents, whether good or bad. So if a parent's super committed to the church, most of the time their students are going to be around a lot as well. And so also the vice, the opposite of that is true. So if parents are only somewhat committed, then we're only going to see their students from time to time. And what I tell students and trying to check in on them, make sure they're doing all right, is one of those things where it's like, if we knew what kind of discipleship that you were getting or how you were being fed outside of our student ministry, if we knew you were in God's Word, if we knew you had a strong prayer life, if you were serving other people, if we knew that somehow, even if we weren't seeing your face here, then that would be okay. But a lot of times if we don't see you here, we don't know if you're getting that. And so, we'd like for you to be committed, to be involved in what's going on here. At least that way we know that you're at least getting something. Because a lot of students are starting to figure out how to feed themselves or how to strengthen their faith on their own right at this time in their life, and we're trying to aid in that. But if they're not here, if they're not committed, if their parents aren't encouraging to be a part of this, then it's hard to just come once every couple months and really grow your faith.
Okay. Okay. So it really, I mean, it really does come back down to the parents and whether or not they're going to be behind them and encouraging them and making it happen.
Certainly, I mean we see parents sacrifice and give up time and money and push kids into all these other activities going on, whether it be through school, sports, athletics, um, other things like theater and music and dance, and they give up so much to make sure their students are involved in those things. But a lot of times when it comes to church activities or student ministry activities, you don't see the same kind of commitment. And what better things to invest in than your kids' spiritual lives? So we encourage parents to try and encourage their students to be involved as much as possible.
Okay. Okay. So what are some of the big challenges that you're finding yourself facing right now in youth ministry in regards it could be in regards to the parents, or again just in youth ministry in general?
Um, Things that we're seeing, even from high school, even all the way down through elementary students, is we've got a lot of new parents to the faith, and so they have a lot of misunderstandings or a lot of questions even about their own faith, about God's word themselves, and so then we we believe there's not then conversations outside of what's going on here because parents maybe feel inadequate to approach these subjects, specifically when it comes to, hey, what's God's word say about this? If they're not really, have a good understanding of it themselves, they're not going to then try to explain that to a student or to a kid. And so a lot of times they're coming to me saying, hey, my student asked me a question about this, and so we're trying to figure out a way to also give parents some basic Bible knowledge, or at least get them started and saying, look, hey, if your students are reading this, hey, you should probably read up on it too, so that when it comes times that the kids have questions or students have questions, you at least can be able to give a response or point them in the right direction. So it's almost like, we, as a whole family comes new to the church, where in the past, the parents usually had a good understanding and could bring the kids along. Now they're kind of bringing it all along at the same time. And so that's been a challenge. We assume a lot. We assume that the parents know a lot, and really that's not the case. And so we're seeing that on all levels within the church, that, the parents, when they get a story sent home about David and Goliath, even, some of the questions and stuff that they have, they don't know the story as well as maybe we assume that they do. And so we're trying to look at different ways to be able to get that knowledge in the parents' hands, so that they can be able to help teach the students as well along with us. So we're kind of a supplement to what the parents do, and so parents need to realize that really, when it comes to their kids' spiritual lives, they are the biggest influence. They're with them most of the week. We only see them once or twice a week for an hour or two at a time, and so getting parents to understand that they are the biggest spiritual influence in the kids' lives, and it's a big responsibility. And we're here to supplement that, to help that, to give you resources to be able to complete that job in your child's life.
Yeah, I liked what you had pointed out, how sometimes parents can feel intimidated as their students are asking them these questions, and it kind of caused me to wonder, have you had situations where you have kids that are coming to church and to youth group and their parents are completely unchurched? They've never really had anything to do with it. But have you had situations like that where then, because of a student coming to your youth group, the parents started to get involved, and then maybe they made decisions to accept Christ? Have you had things like that occur?
Yeah, definitely, and actually, it's happening more and more.
Yeah.
Along with what we do in student ministry and our children's ministry, we have huge events like our Vacation Bible School is huge, and we do a thing, Trunk or Treat. That's a huge event. This past year, we had about 700 people coming through for our Trunk or Treat event, and so we see a lot of kids come We also have a preschool that happens here. You know, some other things throughout the year. So as students come, as kids come, we see them all the time, coming with friends. They'll come 2 or 3 times, and then eventually, mom or dad or both will say, "Hey, we'll go and check it out too." The kid seems to like it, and that's what we hear a lot is that, "Hey, our kids really enjoy it. They have a great time when they're here. It seems like they're learning stuff, so we thought we would come as well and check it out." And so we're seeing that more and more where parents come after a student has already been present here 2 or 3 times. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's been great. It's been great to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Josh, what can we do to find you or your church online? Do you guys have a website? Do you have a Twitter handle, something where if people are interested in learning out some more information?
Yeah, our main church website is trivillage.org, and there's a dash in that, so it's tri-village.org. And then our student ministry website is tvstudentministry.org, and you can follow Twitter from the website. Actually, there's a link to it, so that's what's going on for what we have here. So
Okay. Well, hey, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes with us, and we want to thank you too just for what you're doing to reach kids for Christ, to reach their parents for Christ, and to try to work together with all of them. And we really appreciate what you're doing out there. So thanks so much for taking a few moments with us today.
hey, no problem. Thank you guys.
All right, thanks.